All right, you beautiful bastards, we're back again. One more week, one more episode of Lots Full Podcast. We're going to continue the trend of just evil men in this world. This one's in the past again.
Well, I mean, they're all in the past.
Well, there's some current ones.
This one is a lot more current than the last one. I'll tell you that much for free.
Yeah, I do agree with Dakota on this one. So, strap on your seatbelts and whatever else you got to keep you seated in your chair and just listen to us. That's all I got to say. We're going to have us a nice, long discussion.
Listen to the two retards talk about some more retarded shit.
Yeah.
Before we get started, just, remind everybody, keep liking the YouTube. We're getting up there. We have broke 500. I know that much off the top of my head. We are currently sitting at 506 subscribers. So keep that number growing. Follow on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, all that. Leave us reviews, all that good shit, Everything you beautiful bitches always do. But we're going to get into this one. We did Aleister Crowley last time. This time we're going a little bit more modern. We're going to do the life and death of the Black Pope. And no, I don't mean Morgan Freeman.
AKA Anton LeVay.
Anton LeVay. Not Morgan Freeman, just so we're clear. But yeah, I hate to break it to people, but I share a birth month with this bastard. So
I think we both do, buddy.
Oh yeah, you're an April baby too, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, what was your
14
birthday
days
again?
after mine.
April what?
10th.
Oh, you're closer to him than I am. So I don't feel near as bad. And you've got his hairstyle, so. Anton LeVay was born April 11th, 1930.
Okay.
He's born Howard Stanton LeVay. Okay, he would later change his name to Anton. I'm going to try to pronounce these fucking names. Sandor. It's Szandor. He was born in the beautiful, beautiful, safe city of Chicago. All right.
What if they were still typewriting back then?
1930? I don't know, probably. He developed early interests in music and the occult, later working as a carnival organist and even as a photographer for the San Francisco police. There's not much known about his early life because a lot of it is disputed. His first daughter, Carla Maritza LaVey, was born in 1952 to him and his wife, Carol Lansing. Okay. And then his second daughter, Zena Galicia LaVey, was born to him and his partner, Diane Haggerty. Okay. Now, his daughter, Zena, do yourself a favor, Dave. Look up a picture of this woman.
I don't have any of my stuff in here today.
I got you. Give me just a second and I will pull this bitch up. Let's see here. Google Images. I'm going to send you a message in Riverside chat.
Okay. Now, it better not be the devil in bikinis. I'm going to have to laugh.
Well, I was trying to send you a message in it. It won't let me send it. Let's see here.
So I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm about to freeze to death in here.
Are you?
I'm cold.
It won't let me send it to you, but I'll send it to you after. This woman looks damn near identical to your favorite pop star,
But Katy Perry?
Taylor Swift.
Oh, fuck Swift. Fuck Swift.
She looks almost identical to Taylor Swift. All right, just throwing that out there. So, April 30th, 1966. All right.
Okay.
Anton LeVay declares the founding of the Church of Satan. Now, if the Church of Satan was going to be founded in any city in America, where do you think it would be founded?
L.A.
You're close.
If I remember correctly, that was found in San Francisco, wasn't it?
Yep, San Francisco on Walpurgisnacht. You know what Walpurgisnacht is?
No.
It's May 1st. It's a
Yeah.
witch's Sabbath, okay? Also, going back to a previous episode, remember the Las Vegas aliens?
Yeah.
Care to guess what day that happened on?
Let me guess. Whopper's knock.
Walpurgisnacht. Okay. Just a thought. Okay. 1967, or sorry, he founds the Church of Satan in San Francisco, okay, and renumbers that year as year one Annos Satanas, marking the start of the Satanic era. LaVey assumes the title of High Priest of the Church of Satan. Okay. Now, there's no information what led him down this path. I would assume it's his dabbling with the occult and stuff, but there's never any word as to what started him. Okay.
Right.
So in 1967, while seeking publicity for his new movement, LaVey performs what was billed as the first satanic baptism in history for his 3-year-old daughter, Xena. The
Right.
ritual of dedicating her to Satan garnered worldwide media attention. The press began referring to LaVey as the Black Pope for his role as the Satanist leader. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
69, LaVey publishes the Satanic Bible, which is his most famous work. This book collected his philosophy and rituals of LaVey and Satanism and became the foundational text of the Church of Satan. The Satanic Bible has never gone out of print and remains the main source of for the contemporary Satanic movement. Okay?
Right.
You following me now? Any questions?
Well, no, I knew some of this because, like I said to you earlier, I did a little bit of research into it. Because I mean, it kind of interesting. So I was like, okay, well, I got kind of into Crowley. Like, let me look into Anton LeVay.
Yeah, because
Now,
I'm not giving every little detail. This is just mainly
right,
key moments.
yeah. Now there is a key moment that you passed over that I think's kind of interesting. So, in the early days of this movement, you had I can't remember her name, but it was a movie star,
Mm-hmm.
and she started hanging out with Anton LeVay. Now she wasn't really interested in the Church of Satan and all that. She's doing it for more like a publicity stunt.
Yeah.
Because she
I have a
wanted to
lot of
gain.
I have a feeling a lot of people early on, that's what it was.
Yeah. Because she wanted to get more eyes on her.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think it was her husband or something like that. They were at Anton LeVay's house slash church. And the interesting thing about his place is that this house that he founded this Church of Satan in, he went just like it's kind of like a Victorian style. I think it was. It was an older house, whatever. And he painted the whole house black
Mm-hmm.
and everything. And then he put in pentagrams and I guess fake skulls or skulls. I don't know what all was in there. But anyhow, fast forward back to the house and the actress. So I'm assuming it's her husband. They're off in there. Anton told him and her, do not touch this particular object. I guess it's a very sacred object to his religion. He won't touch it in anyhow.
Mm-hmm.
And Anton cursed the husband and said he would die within the year. 8 months later, the actress and her husband, along with their daughter, had a major car accident driving into the back of a semi truck, going
Mm-hmm.
underneath it. The only survivor out of that wreck was the daughter. That daughter is now an actress. We all know and love her as Olivia Stabler off
Really
SVU. Yes.
interesting. I don't remember ever hearing that story.
So,
Very interesting. I mean, that leads credence to some of the later shit that happens.
yeah.
Um,
So,
71
this was
LaVey
early
releases.
on.
Yeah. 71 LaVey releases The Complete Witch. It later was republished as The Satanic Witch in 1989. It's a manual on lesser magic, techniques of manipulation and glamour, especially geared towards women achieving their will. And then the next year, in 72, he publishes The Satanic Rituals, a companion volume to the Satanic Bible that details ceremonial rituals drawn from various cultural dark traditions. These publications cement LaVey's notoriety and the doctrines of the Church of Satan throughout the 1970s. Now, all this is going on. You know what happened in the 70s and 80s, and then a little bit still in the 90s, but not a whole lot?
No.
You ever hear of the Satanic Panic?
No.
It's a catchy name, ain't it?
I mean, kind of, yeah.
It was what was that's what people call the time period where people were seeing Satanists and the devil and all that stuff in everything. Everything was evil. Everything was of the devil. Everything was, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, look at a lot of the music that came out of there, the heavy metal and all that. Look at what people were saying
Mm.
at the time.
I mean, reminds me of a movie that we grew up watching, The Water Boy.
Yeah. You know what it reminds me of?
What?
You ever see the movie Trick or Treat?
No.
Okay. Anybody watching this? I dare you to look it up because I have not been able to find this movie since I was a kid. There is another movie called Trick or Treat. It's not the same one. This one was about a kid who was a big fan of a musician, and that musician died while recording an album. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the album still got released. This kid got it, and it turned out the album that he had contained the spirit of this musician. And this musician was a Satanist.
Okay,
Care,
Horcrux.
care to guess what the genre of music was?
Heavy metal.
Uh-huh.
Hmm.
I remember watching that movie as a kid. It was pretty freaky.
I mean, you could probably Google it.
I've tried. I can't find it. It's like another Mandela effect thing, dude.
Have you typed in um, what you remember of the movie?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I have spent weeks searching for this movie because I'd love to see it again. It was a good movie. I enjoyed it.
I was kind of like Decoys when I was a young teenager.
Yeah. Yep.
Now I went back and rewatched both of them. I'm like, damn, this is stupid as hell.
It is, but it's the fun kind of stupid.
Yeah.
So, but so we're going into his later years. Okay, 1980s. LaVey lived reclusively in the famous Black House in San Francisco, while the Church of Satan continued as a small but visible subculture. In 1984, LaVey's longtime partner Diane Haggerty, mother of Xena, left him and later sued for palimony, marking the end of their 24-year relationship. LaVey's next companion, Blanche Barton, joined him in the late 1980s and helped manage the church. In 1992, LaVey releases The Devil's Notebook, a collection of essays ranging from humor to social commentary, further expounding his satanic philosophy. Okay. November 1st, 1993, Blanche Barton gives birth to LaVey's only son. Okay. Did you happen to look up this kid's name?
If I remember correctly, I think it was Satan.
Satan Xerxes Carnegie LaVey.
Yeah.
Okay. LaVey, now 63, delights in the birth of his namesake son. Okay. Now, here's where we get into the juiciness, okay?
Mm.
So, officially, Anton LeVay died on October 29th, 1997, okay? Okay. His family reports that he passed away on October 29th, 1997 at St. Mary's Medical Center. Funny enough, a Catholic hospital.
Mm-hmm.
Due to pulmonary edema, which is heart failure. However, his death certificate lists the date of death as October 31st, 1997. Okay? In the aftermath, LaVey's oldest daughter, Carla, presided over a secret satanic funeral service. For security and privacy reasons, LaVey's death was not immediately publicized. He was cremated in Colma, California, and the event was kept low profile. Okay? Thus,
Okay.
as Halloween 1997 passed, the founder of the Church of Satan was gone. Okay? That's the official story. Okay? Unofficially, mid-1997, Pastor Dave Bryan of California crosses paths with a middle-aged woman known to him as Ramona Jarnigan. Okay? He finds her severely injured after a bizarre incident in which, as she later explains, quote, my teenage daughter tried to beat me to death with a baseball bat and then threw my body into the river, end quote. Apparently under occult influence. Brian and his family take in Ramona to care for her, not fully aware of what they've stepped into. Okay?
Okay.
Late 1997. The woman known as Ramona slowly confides her true identity to Pastor Brian. In a tearful confession, she admits, my name's not Ramona Jarnigan. My name is Ray LaVey, and my father was Anton LeVay. Okay?
Okay.
This shocks Brian, who recognizes Anton LeVay's name as the infamous Black Pope of the Church of Satan. Ray, who would later be Ray Deborah, also called Deborah DJ LaVey in Brian's account, reveals that she had been raised in Satanism and was being groomed to serve as the bride of Satan in an upcoming high ritual. She even recounts a horrific trauma from her past, quote, the virgin sacrifice was my little sister, Delina Starr. Anton put his hands over mine around the dagger and cut her heart out as an offering to Satan. This defilement through blood sacrifice, she says, bound her to demonic forces and to her father's plans. I told you, this motherfucker makes Aleister Crowley look like a saint.
Now, see, I hadn't
Okay.
heard about him doing any sacrificing his own kid.
Mm-hmm. So we know that. So officially, Anton had the 3 kids. Okay.
Okay.
We also know that he did a lot of sex magic.
Okay.
What's to say more children weren't born of those rituals?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He wasn't exactly a faithful husband. Okay.
Yeah.
And a lot of the things they did, they kept on the down low. Okay. October 30th, 1997. The tension comes to a head on the night before Halloween. Deborah Ray Ray, okay, suddenly grows restless and oddly insistent on leaving the house, despite the danger. Brian forbids it, aware that cult members might be waiting to snatch her. He later realized this was the start of the attack, recalling, quote, "This is the actual night that Anton LeVay got killed. God killed him," end quote. According to Brian, Anton LeVay was attempting to astral project, which is to leave his body in spirit, in order to spiritually seize or control his daughter. That evening, Deborah appears to fall under a trance unbeknownst to Brian. Anton's spirit had possessed his own daughter's body. In this state, she manages to call 911 and in a frantic voice tells police that she's been kidnapped, held hostage, tortured, and sexually abused for months at Pastor Brian's house. This false report, engineered by LaVey, leads multiple police cruisers to swarm the Bryan household within minutes. Officers arrive with sirens blaring, prepared for a hostage situation. Deborah, under Anton's influence, runs out to them, screaming that her captors are inside. The pastor is briefly treated as a suspect. Quote, 3 cop cars, lights, and sirens converged on our house. They told me to get face down in the grass, end quote, as they moved to apprehend him. Fortunately, a close friend of Brian's who worked with local law enforcement arrives and intervenes. He quietly warns the officers that Ramona, Deborah, has a long history of mental health issues and occult involvement, whereas Pastor Brian has a great reputation. Everybody knows he helps troubled people. The police, deciding not to risk a false arrest, release Dave Bryan and instead take Deborah for psychiatric observation, instructing Brian to have no contact until things are sorted out. As the
Okay.
police escort Deborah still under possession to a squad car, she suddenly turns on Pastor Brian with a demonic glare and unleashes a stream of profanity at him. Quote, she run across the yard, flipping me off and saying every foul thing imaginable. Fuck you, preacher boy. I told you this would happen. Brian recalls hearing Anton's voice in those words, taunting him through Deborah's body. This chilling outburst confirms that the anticipated spiritual showdown is now in motion.
Mm.
I know that's a lot. You got any questions so far?
I mean, actually astro projecting, but also being able to possess somebody else's body. That's a new one.
It is. But you also have to remember all the shit this dude did in service to dark forces and stuff like that. Who knows
Yeah.
what other entities he had helping him? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's a lot that happens in between when Deborah, Ramona, Ray, whatever you want to call her, meets Pastor Brian and the showdown. Anybody that's interested in that, go look up Pastor Brian. He's very open about this story. Highly recommend listening to his interview with Tony Merkel on the Confessionals.
Right.
Highly recommend. He goes into great detail. It's like a 4-hour conversation. Okay. Can't recommend that enough. It is fantastic. Okay. Boy, we're flying through this. I did
Yeah,
not
we're only like
expect us to
24
fly through
minutes.
this so quick. Yeah. So later that night, determined to prevent LaVey from taking Deborah to the satanic ritual, Pastor Brian springs into action. Before the police drove off, his friends slipped a cell phone into Deborah's coat pocket so they could trace or contact her. Brian knows that Anton's physical body must be lying somewhere defenseless while his spirit is out. You can't stay indefinitely in the astral plane. If the silver cord breaks, you're dead. Now, what the silver cord is, a lot of people that astral project will tell you about this. There's a silver cord, for lack of a better term, that connects your spirit to your body.
Okay.
If that breaks, you can't get back into your body.
Mm.
Okay? Just keep that in mind. Okay? He suspects Anton's body might be hidden at a nearby occult location, perhaps a known Satanist safe house they nicknamed Hell Motel, rather than the distant Satanic Ranch ritual site, because LaVey would need to re-enter his body quickly if things went awry. Around midnight, Brian and a couple of colleagues split up. His team heads to stake out the motel, while Brian arms himself and races towards the remote ranch, prepared for a possible physical rescue mission. Just after midnight, so it's now Halloween, okay? 1997.
Okay.
Before Brian gets far, he receives an update. The police car transporting Deborah has indeed stopped at the Hell Motel. And Deborah, still controlled by Anton, has gotten out and gone inside. Realizing LaVey might be using the motel as his base, Brian abandons the drive to the ranch and instead calls the cell phone in Deborah's pocket. Anton LeVay himself answers the call, speaking through Deborah's body. His tone is gloating and mocking. Quote, "Very clever, preacher boy. Unfortunately, it didn't work. You're too late. We have Ray, and we will drink her blood tonight in a sacrifice to Lucifer." Anton puts the blame on Brian. Quote, "It's your fault, preacher boy, because you're the one who kidnapped her and separated her from me. Her blood is on your hands." He then launches into blasphemies against God, referring to Christ as the, quote, "pathetic weakling," and boasting that Brian will soon see the power of the Dark Lord. At this moment, Pastor Brian experiences a clear prompting, which he attributes to the Holy Spirit. Quote, "As clear as I'm talking to you, God said, cut his silver cord." In other words, Brian felt God instructing him to pray that Anton's astral lifeline be severed, preventing LaVey from returning to his body. Anton abruptly hangs up the phone after his tirade, but Brian now knows what he must do. He contacts his prayer group, about 9 people already gathered at his house, and urgently tells them, join hands and pray one thing, that Anton's silver cord would be cut. They understand that if the silver cord is cut, he's dead. And Brian soberly replies, yes. If that doesn't happen, Ray's dead. Past midnight, the house full of prayer warriors focuses in, praying in unity to cut Anton LeVay's silver cord. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's a lot of conversation I've seen online on whether this is the Christian thing to do. I have my thoughts. What do you?
Well, then you go into the Bible. I mean, God didn't always, yeah, he didn't always spare the rod.
No, he didn't. God is a merciful God, but he's also a vengeful God.
Yeah.
Vengeance is mine, saith the Lord.
So, I mean, look at David and Goliath.
Yeah. Now, I think, yes, it is not a Christian thing to kill somebody or even to wish or pray for somebody's death or downfall. That being said, God tells us to look after one another and protect one another. And if Deborah, Ray, Ramona, whatever her name is, truly was in danger, it is our duty to protect her.
Yeah.
By whatever means necessary.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I've never heard, I've heard of astral projecting, but never heard that there's a silver cord
No, I've heard the silver cord thing a lot. You ought to look into it.
Yeah.
It's really interesting. Boy, I really thought this was going to be a longer episode. I really did. I thought there was going to be a lot of discussion over this story.
But I mean, I'm trying here, man. Come on. Like, but
Well, while you're thinking, I can continue unless you've got something you want to say right
no,
now.
go ahead. No, go ahead.
Okay. So at roughly 1 a.m., the showdown reaches its climax. As Brian stands in the road outside Hell Motel praying, Deborah suddenly bursts out the motel door screaming, "Daddy, help me." She sprints to Pastor Dave Bryan and leaps into his car. His friends witness this and follow in their vehicles as Brian speeds away from the motel with Deborah safe at his side. On the drive home, Deborah is shaken but conscious and fully herself again. Brian asks what happened, and Deborah explains that the last thing she remembers was praying in her room, and then Anton took me over. I don't remember anything until just moments ago. She says she came back to her senses lying on the floor of that motel room as Anton left my body, and at that point she knew something had gone very wrong for her father. She tells Brian that Anton bounced. And in occult slang, to bounce on the astral plane means a projecting soul tried to return to its body but couldn't reconnect, as if hitting a closed door. In other words, LaVey's silver cord had been severed. He was locked out of his own body, a fatal situation. Panicked, the Satanists at the motel had gathered around LaVey's lifeless body and begun desperately praying to Lucifer for intervention. Quote, the whole coven gathered around, making promises, we'll offer so much blood sacrifice, we'll do anything, just somehow help us save the Black Pope. Deborah reports they were shouting. Despite their pleas, nothing could be done. Quote, they were also concerned, gathered around Anton, as it became clear he was dying or dead. At that moment, Deborah mustered the strength to jump up and flee, racing out the door to find Pastor Brian. Back at the Bryans' home, the prayer group rejoices as the family arrives with Deborah alive. They're ecstatic that God had miraculously saved her from being sacrificed. Everyone also realized what this implies. Anton LeVay is likely dead as a result of this divine deliverance. Okay. Later that morning, as the group embraces Deborah in relief, a sudden and eerie twist occurs. Deborah's eyes roll back and turn serpentine, bright red with slitted pupils, and a hissing voice comes out of her. A demonic entity manifests, identifying itself. Quote, I'm Leviathan, the power spirit of Anton LeVay. It then accuses Pastor Brian directly, quote, you are a murderer. You've killed the Black Pope. This chilling pronouncement is taken by everyone present as a confirmation that Anton LeVay is indeed dead. The demon claims it has a right to Deborah because she is of LeVay's blood. But Brian is prepared for this. He boldly rebukes the demon, declaring that Deborah is no longer part of Anton LeVay's lineage in any legal or spiritual sense. Quote, by all the records in heaven and on earth, she has no connection to Anton LeVay. She's our daughter and a daughter of the Most High God. You have no legal right to her. Pastor Brian and his wife had legally adopted Deborah and changed her name, symbolically severing the blood ties to her father's name. The demon, confronted with this truth, cannot maintain its hold. To the group's surprise, Leviathan leaves instantly, with none of the struggle they had experienced in past exorcisms. Pastor Brian later reflected that the demon's easy departure was because its claim truly died with Anton LeVay. Quote, it was based on the truth that the spirit did not have legal right. Once we asserted that, it just instantly left. The Black Pope was dead, and his spiritual power over Deborah was broken for good.
Oh, this is an interesting story.
So in the months following, Pastor Dave Bryan followed through with making Deborah Joy an official part of his family. He and his wife legally adopted her, and she took on a new name, often referred to simply as Deborah Joy Bryan. This final step, according to Bryan, was crucial in closing any door to the past. Quote, remember, we legally changed her name and adopted her, She has no connection to Anton LeVay. He says, highlighting that even on paper, she was no longer a LaVey. With a new identity and a supportive family, Deborah was able to rebuild her life, free from the shadow of her father. Pastor Brian's account, including the claim that prayer killed the Black Pope, was later shared in interviews as a dramatic tale of spiritual warfare and redemption. Whether viewed with skepticism or faith, the timeline of Anton LeVay's death in 1997 will forever carry an unusual footnote thanks to the story of Pastor Dave Bryan, Ramona Deborah, and the Halloween showdown that allegedly ended the life of the Black Pope of Satanism.
Mm.
Well, I told you it was big.
No, here's my thought process here real quick. Okay.
Okay.
Anton's death, both stories could be actually right. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
He could have gotten, I'm not saying he could have, but he could have gotten back into his body, but being too late. You know what I mean? And he
Yeah.
being at the hospital. And still could have died of cardiomyopathy. I probably just butchered that. But
Pulmonary edema was the official
pulmonary
cause
edema.
of death. Pulmonary
Okay.
edema. Yeah.
Um, at the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
Like, come back for a second and then done. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, I think that is possible.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but also the other one, too. Shit.
Do you think Pastor Brian's story holds any water?
I don't know. Because when I did my little research, I knew nothing about this kid.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know there was a
Like
second
I said,
story.
with all the ritual sex magic he did, there's no telling how many children he had.
Oh, yeah, that's true. So, I mean, it's very possible. And with him baptizing his firstborn in the name of Satan and then all that, I mean, once you go that route, I mean, maybe sacrificing a kid
You're
that you
all
kept,
in.
yeah, that you kept on the down low. Nobody knew she was pregnant. Kept her in hiding for 9 months. I mean, it's possible,
Mm-hmm.
but
Now, Anton was like the whole him sacrificing somebody, that
mm,
was something he did pretty regularly. They did a lot of ritual sacrifices.
yeah. So
And doing it on Halloween, that holds water too, I think.
yeah, I
Because
agree
as
with you
much
on
as I
that.
love Halloween, it does have a lot of ties, like not officially, but Satanists do use it a lot.
Yeah,
Like the holiday itself has nothing to do with Satanism, but Satanists do take advantage of it.
that's where they
Because
say,
what do you do on Halloween? You try to get scared. And
yeah,
the demonic feeds off of fear.
mm-hmm. Well,
So
they
if
also
you're
say that
going
the
to
veil
do
between worlds
something,
is thinner.
yes, yes, yes.
So
Funny enough, there's 2 days where it says it's the thinnest. One is Samhain, which is Halloween. Okay. Care to guess when the other one was?
mm, Christmas.
No. Nope.
When?
Walpurgis Nacht.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, over trying to
That's why
not
those are
yawn.
two of the biggest holidays for Satanism.
It's interesting, man. Not gonna lie.
It's
I
a
mean,
wild story.
yeah, and there's probably a lot more we can get into about Anton LeVay, but it would probably take us several hours and days
Oh,
of
yeah.
more digging.
That's exactly why I don't do every little aspect of their life. I just do the key points. Is because if I did everything, we'd sit here for hours talking. You know,
Yeah, and like on a day like today, I've got to go to work here pretty soon, and then you got to go to sleep to get back up for work.
I got to go to bed here pretty soon. So
Yeah, or else you're gonna be hard to wake up tonight.
I'm probably
So
going to be hard to wake up anyway.
probably, but
I
bud,
just hope
let's
I'm not Anton LeVay hard to wake up.
Damn, man. Oh man, that's fucked up. But
Yeah. It's
yeah,
Anton LeVay. What do we care? Fuck him.
fuck them. The
So
dark side's not the good side.
the way I look at that story is I personally believe it, but you also know how big into the esoteric I am and stuff like that, and how much I believe in spiritual warfare.
Well, I'm not gonna
Um,
say that astro projecting's unreal because I'm pretty sure I've done it in my sleep
yeah,
more than
we'll have to
once.
get into that story one day. We'll have to get into that
Oh,
story one day. But no, I'm big in. I'm a big proponent of spiritual warfare. I think it's a real thing. Um, that being said, this story is proof as to one, which side is greater. Okay.
hmm.
I mean, Pastor Brian was engaged in spiritual warfare with Anton LeVay. Pastor Brian's alive and well today. Where's Anton LeVay?
Dead. 6 foot
Mm-hmm.
down.
And two, prayer works.
You know,
Okay.
it does.
And I think those are two very important things for us to remember.
Whew. Yeah, I agree with you on that. So,
So, on that note, unless you got something else to add, you can go ahead and close us out, you beautiful, sexy bastard.
oh no, sir. I don't know why I can say that. I'm telling you,
I know.
bald and
I was
bearded is
kind
the
of
way to
hoping she would
go.
hear. That's why I said it.
Nah,
I
she's
was
in
kind of
London.
hoping she'd overhear. That's why I said it.
See, you turn your back on us bald people. I'm still rocking it, and I'm still
It's just gotten
gorgeous.
cold. It's just gotten cold, so my head got cold.
I mean, you gotta tough it out.
So
Gotta grow a pair.
now, when it gets hot again, I'll probably shave it all off.
Mm-hmm. So you say.
So, funny enough, that was Anton LeVay's look: bald head and a beard.
Mm. Yeah, a lot, but his beard was a lot shorter. Face is a lot pointier.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
So anyway, close us out, big dog.
all right, you beautiful bastards. One more episode down, another week down. We've had a good time. Another interesting topic. Join us next week. We'll come up with something different. We'll go down another rabbit hole. Y'all keep listening. And just remember, like, share, subscribe, follow us on Apple Podcast, YouTube, Spotify. We got a TikTok as well, as long as that stays up and running. Um, come around. Like, we want y'all to listen to us. We want to grow this. We'd like to get to the point where me and Dakota here can quit our normal jobs and actually do this full time and put out better content for y'all to
I do
listen
want to
to.
say, I do want to say, I'm thinking about possibly doing something for Christmas. I don't know what yet, but I think we did something for Halloween. We need to do something for Christmas. You know.
Ho, ho, ho. I get it.
Hey. It's now Lady of the Evening. Lady of the Evening. Lady of the Evening. Got to be politically correct.
All right,
right.
guys.
We'll catch y'all guys next time. Y'all just remember, like the great philosopher Willie Nelson once said, life's a bitch and then you die. Unless you're
That's right.
Anton LeVay, then you're just an asshole and you die.
All right, bud. Later.
All right. Later, brother.